All right, all right. Testing everything to see if I am live. Let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. Everything is live on both. Okay, we got Instagram live, we got YouTube live. We are ready to go. Welcome, everybody. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. If you don't know who I am Brittainy Noel, therapist out of Houston, Texas. I'm an author, I'm a keynote speaker. I am right now currently sleepy. Okay. I am I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a therapist, I'm a coach. I'm a little bit of everything. Okay. Hey, Virgo. Hey, Miss Marie. Hey, Charles. I go live once a week. All right. I try my hardest to go live once a week so that I can touch base with you guys. For the people who have been with me since day one, y'all know how it goes. We tune in and we just have a live Q&A. You guys get to ask me questions and I'm giving you honest answers, okay? YouTube, put something in the chat. Let me see how y'all are doing tonight, okay? YouTube, you will be able to ask me questions as well. I'm so happy that I've mastered going live in two places at once, okay? I think the next one, I think there's a way I can go live on TikTok too at the same time. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. So, tonight, it's all about asking hard questions to get honest answers. If this is your first time with us, it's like a whole big group therapy session, okay? There are no questions that are off limits. Please do not be afraid to ask whatever question you're going through. I know because I'm not live on my phone, I don't think you can send questions anonymously, but put your question down in the chat. That's how we're going to do it. As far as announcements, hey, DC. As far as announcements, I don't think I have any announcements. Listen, I worked out at 5 o'clock this morning without my pre-workout. So my day has been, just ups and downs. I was doing good at one moment and then it went back down. Okay. All my first time people, hello, good to see you. So yes, okay. So the thing is, I have a lot of announcements. I just can't announce them yet. Okay. I literally was in a planning session today with some things that I have coming up. Okay. Some very exciting things that I have coming up. And I'll be announcing those soon. Okay. Soon. Hey, Nigeria, New York. All right. So I'm gonna go with the first. Oh, the Daily Fix. All of my Daily Fix family. All right, the Daily Fix is my morning meetup crew. Those are the people who are part of my tribe, a part of my program. They tune in every morning with me, and we talk about different things, different topics. The month of February, we are talking about radiant relationships. So this whole month, we've been talking about how to create a new love story. If you're not in the Daily Fix, you have missed some very good conversations. All right. You can still join the Daily Fix and get access to all of the sessions that we've had since last year, okay, January 2023. So TDF, sound off in the chat. If you guys want to learn more about the Daily Fix, let me see if I remember how to do it. Hold on. If you want to, there we go, learn more about the Daily Fix, okay, there's the QR code, okay, scan the QR code. All right. YouTube, I see you guys. Y'all look amazing. The Daily Fix is not free. It is a membership program. Okay. So let's get the first question out the way. First question out the way. I'm scrolling back up to see if I missed some questions. Hold on. If you put a question in and I missed it, just put it back in the box. Let's see. All right, Miss Dion, I'm gonna come to your question. You say, so he discarded me and now he wants to spin the block. I'm holding on, but it's hard, but I'm not giving in. I prayed for him to be out of my life. Now, lo and behold, the sob stories coming and I'm done. So if you're done, right, with this individual and he's trying to spend a block for whatever reason, you have to stand firm on your boundaries and understand why. Why was he dismissed from your life in the first place? Because if he discarded you, if he truly discarded you, he wouldn't be spinning the block. What he did was he put you on hold. And there are a lot of people, men and women, who will put people on hold, on ice, because they know that at any given time, I can come back to this relationship and she's going to let me back in. He's going to let me back in. I just got to smile. I just got to make them laugh. I just got to say some cute stuff. And then, bam, back where we started, right? So he didn't discard you. He put you on hold. Now, when people put us on hold, it's normally because they have a history with us that has informed them that I don't stick to my own boundaries. The reason why he's spinning the block is because he has learned from you that you don't stick to your own boundaries. How does he know this? Because this is not the first time that he has exited your life and come back. This is not the first time that he has stepped over boundaries and came back into your life. This is a pattern, and your unwillingness to uphold your own boundaries has taught him that he can put you on ice anytime he gets ready and come back, because that's the cycle that you guys are in. So you're going to have to, first of all, stay loyal and committed to the boundaries that you've set about whether or not this person can come in your life. But you got to be real honest with yourself about, why am I letting this person back into my life? Every time he comes back, every time he knocks on the door, every time he texts and calls or whatever, ask yourself, why is it that I am even tempted to open this door? What is the part of me that is yearning to hear from this person? What is the part of me that is yearning to be around this person? Because that's the part of you that's not that it's unhealed, but that 9 times out of 10 is pointing towards an unmet need. What I usually tell people that are in situations like this, if you had a better option than him in your life, you would choose the better option. But because there's nobody else in your vicinity who is meeting that need, whatever need it is that you have, I would rather pick this person than have none, right? So you're going to have to figure out, what is the need that this person normally fulfills for me? And how can I get that need met in a way that is not self-sabotaging or self-harming, so that I can still live a full life, be fulfilled, without going back to someone who doesn't make me feel good about myself and my decisions. Okay. Very good. Okay. Um, okay. I'm looking at the questions. Put y'all questions back down below. I've gotten lost. How do you get over the fear of being cheated on? I think the fear of being cheated on is kind of like the fear of being stung by a bee. Being stung by a bee will hurt. If I get stung by a bee, it'll hurt. If I get stung by a wasp, it'll hurt. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna perish. My life still goes on. My life is minimally affected. And when people normally get cheated on, yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels uncomfortable. But the truth is that being cheated on is not a reflection of who I am. It's a reflection of who the person is that I'm with, right? And because we take the cheat personal, we make the cheating about us. Well, maybe he cheated because I wasn't pretty enough. Maybe he cheated because I wasn't soft enough. I wasn't intimate enough. I didn't do what he liked. I didn't do this. I should have done that. And so you made his poor choices about you. The truth is that in every relationship, I don't care. I don't care if you lost yourself and wasn't working out and you was eating and you looked sloppy and sluggish, whatever it is. Before someone makes a decision to betray the commitment they made to you, they had other options. And that's what I have to work with when I'm normally working with the person who cheated, is to helping them take accountability that cheating was only one option. There were a lot of other options that you could have taken, whether it was to work on the relationship, in the relationship, step out of it altogether before you got to cheating, before you got to low integrity, before you got to low character, before you got to underdeveloped communication skills. Before we jump to those things that points towards poor character development, there were other options. So when someone cheats on you, it's because they for themselves chose, I would rather have low character. I would rather not be a person of my word. I would rather not be someone who upholds my commitment. That is a decision that they made. That decision is not a reflection of who you are. So you have to allow other people to hold their responsibility for whatever decisions they've made in your life, right? In every relationship breakdown, it's never just all one person's fault. It's never just all your fault or their fault. There's always a percentage. Take responsibility for your percentage of the breakdown. Take responsibility for your percentage of what wasn't going right, but you let them hold their percentage, okay? And you don't take ownership of somebody else's bad behavior and poor decision making. That was a reflection of who they are, not who you are. Okay. Next question. Okay. Okay. Now, maybe I didn't think this all the way through. Something just dawned on me. Maybe I didn't think this all the way through, because I'm like, why are there so many relationship questions? But tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So I'm guessing all of the relationship questions has to do with the fact that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I just made that connection. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. First, okay. So before I start answering this plethora of relationship questions, let me tell y'all two things. One, if you're going through a breakup, the link in my bio on Instagram, I actually have a link to my Whole Again Recovering After Heartbreak workbook. Okay. Recovering after heartbreak. So if you're going through a breakup right now and you're trying to move through it, there's a workbook in my bio that will help you. Number one. Two, the daily fix. Okay. We're talking about relationships the whole month of February. So if you're navigating relationships and trying to figure some stuff out and trying to figure, how do I move through my relationships in a healthy way? How do I qualify my connections? That was the whole conversation we had this morning. How do I qualify my connections before I just jump head over heels in love with someone? How do I actually qualify the connection I have so that I know that I'm actually investing into something that has substance? We had that whole conversation this morning. If you join the Daily Fix today, you'll get access to all of our sessions up until last year. Do that. Number one. Okay. All right. I'm saying that because there's no way I'm gonna be able to answer all these questions, but I'm going to pick, let's see. Next question. What to do when your mind says leave, but your your mind says leave, but your heart says stay. What do you do no, these questions are not only about relationships. If you have any questions that are not about relationships, please put them down below. Okay. Your mind says leave and your heart says stay. Happens a lot. Right? Most times in relationships, my mind and my heart can definitely be on two different pathways. What I have to do is always refer back to the vision that I have for my life, the vision that I have created for my life, my relationships, what I want in this world. That vision is always my North Star. That vision is always informing me about what decisions I should be making and what decisions I should not be making, what I should say yes to, what I should say no to. Okay. Um, when you create this vision, what happens is now every person who comes into my life, every opportunity that comes into my life, now I have to measure that opportunity or that person up against my vision. So if I say my vision is to be in a relationship with someone who is kind, who is smart, who values my opinion, who allows me to be a part of their world, who is proud to have me on their arm, who is communicative about their emotions, who seeks to understand me, who seeks to accept me, who has seen my flaws and still loves me. If I create that vision of the type of person I want to be with, and then I look at who's actually in my life, I now have to ask myself, does this person match the vision of what I consider my type of love to be? Not what somebody on Instagram said, not what you read in a book, not what you saw happen for somebody else. You have to create an individualized vision of love for you. You have to create a vision of love for you so that when people come into your life, now you can say, this person looks and feels like the type of love that I've been looking for and I've been searching for. If you don't have a vision of what you want in your life, you end up accepting what people give you. You end up accepting what people put on the table because you never put a demand on the type of love experience that you wanted to have. So when my heart and my mind are battling, I can speak back to my heart and say, hey, I know you want him, but he doesn't live up to the vision of love that I have for myself. Right? I can speak back to the parts of myself that either are working for or against me when it comes to getting the type of love that I want to have. So you have to create a vision. What is the type of love experience? Right? People spend so much time. I want a six-figure earner. He got to be 6 feet. She need to, be fit, and she need to be feminine. And we got all of these standards of what we want somebody to be, but very rarely do you ever talk about the experience, because nobody goes deep enough to ask yourself, when it's just a regular Sunday morning and you're waking up to your person, what does that Sunday morning feel like? What does that Sunday morning look like? How do they look at you when you're sleeping? How do they talk to you when you're struggling? How do they encourage you when you're lacking motivation? What is the experience of love? Not just these superficial standards that you've designed to make you think that if I find somebody who fits these boxes, I'll be happy. What is the experience? I want to be with someone who gives me a sense of security. I want to be with someone who makes me feel safe, even in the midst of the places in my body where I feel unattractive, or I feel like I've lost myself. Who is this person? How do they speak to you? How do they talk to you? How do they uplift you? How do they help you achieve your dreams? How do they help you stay passionate about the things that you're passionate about? What role do you play in their life? Can't wait. Okay. Tell you something. That's the desire of someone who is a lover at heart. I'm a lover at heart if y'all ain't figured it out. Lover at heart. My greatest desire is always to pour out the bucket of love that I have. I want to pour into your dreams. I want to pour into who you are. I want to give of myself to you. That makes me happy. The vision that I have is not just about what I want to get and receive from this person. The vision that I have is also who I want to be for this person. Create your vision so that when people come into your life, you can fact check my vision versus reality. And how is this person measuring up to the experience of love that I want to have? Because you can get somebody with all those check boxes. They're going to check every box on your list, and you're going to still be lonely. They're going to check every box on the list, and you're going to still be waking up every day feeling unseen. Because you got what you wanted, but you didn't get what you needed. Okay? All right. All right. Let's see here. I didn't know we could block people. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I love a good block button. And YouTube got me blocking people. Hold on. Okay. Now, YouTube has a question. What happens after your season of isolation is over? You come into the world. All right. Most people go into seasons of isolation when they're going through seasons of healing, right? When you are putting yourself kind of like in a cocoon where the rest of the world doesn't have access to you because you are actively healing. All right. Isolation is only beneficial when I am actively healing. If you go into isolation and you're not doing any work, the only thing you're doing is avoiding the problem. Okay. So instead of isolation, you're in avoidance. And avoidance does not heal. Avoidance just puts my healing on pause. Okay. So when I'm in isolation, I need to be doing work that is helping me actively heal the parts of myself that I feel have been damaged in this last season. So when I come out of isolation, what you want to do is focus on reintegration back into society. So what does that look like? First of all, finding safe connections. Safe connections. All right. Safe connections. When I come out of isolation, I'm still not for everybody. Okay. When I come out of isolation, I still need to be very picky and choosy. Picky and choosy. Is that a word? I need to be selective about the people that I allow access to me because I'm still very vulnerable even when I come out of my isolation. All right. So you need to be this okay, words, words, selective. I need to be selective about who it is I allow into my life. And then you need to focus on building a life. All right. One of the things people do, especially if you've gone through a very traumatic season, I think of it as being like in a boat. And when that boat is sinking, the first thing you start doing is throwing things overboard, right? I'm trying to survive. We go into survival mode. So you stop hanging out with friends. You stop going to church. You stop, going bowling. You stop dancing. And so, in order for you to survive, you started getting rid of parts of your life that actually gave life seasoning, that made life exciting, that made life worth living. So, when you come out of isolation, now I need to slowly start reintegrating back into my life the things that gave my life fulfillment, the things that lit me up, the things that made me laugh, the things that gave me joy, the things that gave me hope, the things that gave me inspiration. You need to rediscover your hobbies. You need to rediscover, I always say, your dance and your song, right? You need to get back into the essence of living, not just waking up, going to work, going to church, and going home. Waking up, going to work, going to church, go home. You may go to the gym, but then you're gonna go home. Right? You have to reintegrate and rebuild your life. And this is one of the things, especially when some of y'all know, I used to work with combat veterans. And this is exactly what I had to work with them on. When they came back home from combat, they weren't going nowhere. They were going to be in their house day after day after day. They had no desire to reintegrate, right? But when you do that, depression mounts. When you live in isolation for an extended amount of time, depression grows and it grows and it grows. So in order to combat that, I have to create a life that I feel is worth living. Do not fill your life with obligations. Do not design your life to be about serving others and you forgot to serve yourself. Do not design a life that is built around your to-do list and you look up and you ain't did nothing for yourself in over 90 days. You have to build a life that feels good. That is the key to happiness. Happiness don't just roll up on you. Happiness doesn't come knock on your door. Joy doesn't come knock on your door. Fulfillment doesn't come knock on your door. What are you doing every day to invite those things into your life? What are you doing to bring joy into your life? What are you doing to bring laughter into your life? What are you doing to have a fulfilled and well-rounded life? Okay, I'm gonna let that go. I said it in the daily fix, right? I think either today or yesterday. There are so many people. And this is why I was like, why are there so many relationship questions tonight? But there are so many people who believe that if I just get in a relationship, I'll be happy. If I just find the person to love and be loved, if I just find somebody to be with, I'll be happy. And that's not true on any measure. Being in a relationship does not cure the part of you that is lonely. Being in a relationship does not cure the part of you that is doubting your worth or doubting your significance in this world. Being in a relationship does not fix you. If anything, it highlights the part of you that is still growing. It highlights the part of you that is still under construction. So being in a relationship is not going to be this end all be all to me feeling happy and fulfilled in my life. I got to go and rediscover what brings me joy in whatever capacity that may be for you. Okay? All right, all right, all right. Where can I meet like-minded individuals in the Daily Fix? The Daily Fix, we are a worldwide group at this point, okay? We got members all across the world who join in, but we are truly a community. We are truly a tribe, and we support each other. We uplift each other. We hold each other accountable. It's an amazing group. So join. The link is right there. It's right there. All right. Next question. Next question. Let's see. Next, somebody put a question down below because I lose track of the questions. I'm trying to roll up and see the questions. How can I tell the difference between being on pause? And this is a piggyback to the question that I answered earlier. Let me introduce a concept. Let me introduce a concept. It's mind blowing. Okay, mind blowing. People are not allowed to enter and leave your life whenever they feel like it. People are not, nobody can put me on pause. You know why? Because if you're not willing to be a consistent part of my life, I no longer create space for you. It doesn't matter if you ghosted me. It doesn't matter if you put me on pause. It doesn't matter if you were just taking a break. I decide who gets to come and go in my life. I am the gatekeeper. And this is where we have to take responsibility for the people that we have in our lives who are misusing us, hurting us, not being consistent. They are doing this because we've given them the keys. You were the gatekeeper. It is your responsibility to make a decision based on how this person interacts with me, how they talk with me, how they show up for me or don't show up for me, how they engage with me or don't engage with me, based on their level of commitment, their level of consistency, their level of time, based on the investment that this person is making into me. I get to make a decision. No one has taken your power from you. You are allowed to make a decision to say whether or not their level of investment is enough to have space in your life. And if you are inconsistent with me, I deem that to be a lack of investment. If I can't count on you, I deem that to be a lack of investment. If you're here one day and gone the next, I deem that to be a lack of investment. Therefore, I now have a right to say you no longer have access. They're not the problem. Someone being inconsistent with you is not the problem. Someone ghosting you is not the problem. Someone putting you on hold is not the problem. Your inability to revoke access is the problem. Your inability to hit the block button is the problem. Your inability to say you no longer have access to me is the problem. We can't keep pointing fingers at people telling them be better, be better, be better when you could choose to be better. You can choose to say, I want a different type of connection. You don't even have to, because with a lot of people, you rely, I forget who did I come for in the Daily Fix? It was somebody I came for in the Daily Fix on Friday. And I told them, you rely on anger to set your boundaries for you. So you think that you have to be mad at someone in order to stick to your boundaries. You think that you have to be upset with someone before you finally vocalize how you feel. And so you rely on anger. You have to make them the villain in order for you to say, I tap out. They don't have to be the bad guy. They don't have to be the wicked witch of the West. You can simply observe how they engage with you and make a decision for yourself whether or not that is enough for what it is that you're looking for. They don't have to, and it shouldn't get that bad. It shouldn't get to the point to where I want to cuss you out or I want to go off on you or I want to talk bad about your mama for me to finally say this ain't for me. You can simply, I'm telling you, people show you who they are. People show you who they are. Most people aren't good at hiding who they are. So your job is simply to believe them. Who was that? Maya Angelou? Was it Maya Angelou who said that? When people show you who they are, believe them. And don't make excuses for them. Don't make excuses for yourself. Ooh, okay, let's go down there, that road for a minute. Let's go down that road. The Daily Fix, you guys have heard me say that before other people betray our boundaries, typically we betrayed our boundaries first. So before I gave someone access, enough access to where they could ghost me. All right, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Before I gave somebody enough access where they could betray me or they could let me down, 9 times out of 10, if we're being totally honest, the people who get in our lives and treat us the worst, their behavior pattern was there from the beginning. The way that they initiated even rolling up on you was out of order. The way that they initiated the first conversation was out of order. The way that they initiated the courting process with you was lackluster and minimum effort, but you kept giving them excuses and you kept giving them chances and you kept lowering your bar. The reason why it got to the point where they were able to put you on hold or ghost you or talk to you any kind of way is because in this 6 months of getting to know them, in the year that you got to know them, in the 5 years that you've been getting to know them, you consistently kept lowering your bar every time they failed to meet your standard. And they didn't do that, you did. You kept negotiating with yourself. You kept trying to make excuses for yourself why it was okay for me to lower the bar for them. They couldn't jump this high. Okay, well, let me do this. They're not willing to take me on dates. Well, I'm cool. We don't have to go on dates. They don't want to text me every day. That's cool. I don't need to talk to them every day. They don't want to take me to meet their family. That's fine. I'll introduce them to mine. And so you kept making excuses for the ways in which they weren't showing up in a way that would give you security. You negotiated your own boundary before they ever crossed anything. Before they ever let you down, before they ever betrayed you, you betrayed yourself. I know. I know. I know, right? It's hard for us to really take accountability that I knew from the way you approached me. I knew what this was going to be, but I kept talking myself into giving you a shot. I talked myself into giving you benefit of the doubt. I kept talking myself into something that I knew did not honor me. That wasn't on them, that was on you. All right? That was on you. All right? That's okay. Because I can forgive myself for the ways in which I've let myself down. I can forgive myself for the ways in which I didn't show up appropriately. I can forgive myself for the ways in which I fell short. That's what self-forgiveness is for, right? But you will not thrive in self-forgiveness if you don't correct the pattern. You cannot thrive in self-forgiveness if you're not willing to correct the pattern. So yes, I messed up. Yes, I gave him too much access. Yes, I should have set this boundary earlier. Yes, I never should have lowered the bar. But now that I know better, I have to correct the pattern. And correcting the pattern can look like blocking, no more access. Correcting the pattern can look like no longer being available for text messages or phone calls or going out. Whatever correcting the pattern looks like. For some of you, in order to correct this pattern, you're going to need to sit down and have a hard conversation, right? Because what I'm talking about right now does not just apply to relationships. It apply your romantic relationships. It applies to every relationship, because how we show up in our romance looks very similar to how we show up in our friendships, how we show up with our coworkers, how we show up with our parents, how we show up with our extended family. Correct the patterns of self-betrayal, because it's not just showing up with the person you love, it's showing up across the board. So I have to be willing to correct myself so that I can walk in integrity with myself. It is, and again, what I'm describing here, if you guys have not joined the Daily Fix, join the Daily Fix. All right. I don't know how else to say that it's life changing. I don't know how else to say that it's life changing. But what I'm describing is a relationship that is built upon self. It is so hard when you have a real relationship with yourself to be out of integrity with yourself, right? When I was younger, in my 20s, lying to myself was easy. It was so easy. Lying to myself was so easy. Making excuses for other people and myself was so easy, right? The minute that I started building that foundation of a relationship with self, it got harder to lie to me about me. It got harder to make excuses for my behavior when I knew I was the gatekeeper. It got harder for me to allow people into my life who didn't value me when I valued myself so much, right? It's hard to have that conversation and look at yourself in the mirror when you know that you're making decisions that are actively hurting you. It's harder to do that when you've built a real relationship with you. So this is why I say the relationship that you have with other people in some ways is reflecting the relationship you have with yourself. So that you can't skip the self-work. I don't care. I don't care how hard you try. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many times y'all watch me on live. At some point, you got to deal with you. You got to deal with you. All right. Okay, YouTube, how y'all doing over there? Give me some comments. Give me some comments. All right. Let me know how y'all doing on YouTube. Instagram, if this is y'all's first time with me, put a 1 in the chat. Let me see how y'all are enjoying it. Thank you for my TDF members being my designated secretaries, because they know I am bad at plugging everything. Brittainy has everything. Yes, TDF will recalibrate your life. Absolutely. I'm in a season of self-forgiveness for betraying myself in a marriage for 18 years. You're so right. When you chase it back there, it was there from the jump. It was always there from the jump, okay? Very good. Who else has a question? Yeah, Sunday session was on the 4th. We just had it, last weekend? I just posted a video from that last Sunday session. And that Sunday session is not going to be on YouTube. Probably not. More than likely not. Going to be on YouTube. Okay. Let's see where we at. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love being on Sherry Shepherd. Can't wait to go back. Okay, who has another question? When is the Daily Fix? The Daily Fix is every morning, Monday through Friday. Thursday, we do a bi-weekly community session. But every morning, Monday through Friday at 8:30 Central Standard Time. If you can't join live, you can always watch the replays. And when you join the Daily Fix, you get access to all of our sessions. So January 2023 up until now. So that's over 200 hours of content. All the content is separated. So if you're working on relationships, confidence, self-identity, purpose, communication, intimacy, all of that is in the daily fix. Money management, we do it all in the daily fix, okay? Any tips on finding purpose? Yes. Okay. I like these questions. Okay. So, any tips on finding purpose? And then I'm going to come over here because I see YouTube is sending me some questions. Let me see. I think I can put y'all's up. Okay. When you join the Daily Fix, first of all, I have a whole month of content on purpose, finding purpose, what does purpose mean, how do you operate in your purpose, all of that. But I want you guys to think about purpose as my refrigerator. My refrigerator. I am so for the people who are new to my community, this 5 a.m. workout is yeah. So right now my batteries are like, so you just gonna keep pushing, huh? You just gonna keep going. Okay. So finding purpose is like my refrigerator. When I plug my refrigerator in, it does what it's supposed to do. It cools food, right? It's going to keep cool whatever it is I have in my refrigerator. I don't have to teach my refrigerator how to keep food cold. I don't have to, you know, add in any software to make the refrigerator work. I don't have to do anything special to make the refrigerator work. All I have to do is plug it in and it does what it's supposed to do. Okay? Your purpose operates in that exact same way. The thing that you were designed to do is most times the thing that you do absolutely effortlessly. You don't think about it, it just happens. Purpose is the thing that you do as a part of you just being who you are. It's not something that you have to make happen. It's not something that you're forcing yourself to do. It's something that comes naturally. The thing about it coming naturally is that many times we discredit it and we discount it because it comes so easy to us. We think that our purpose has to be this convoluted thing that is huge and it's massive and it's going to be like a big epiphany moment. And purpose is as easy as you getting up and doing whatever that thing is. Before I knew that I was purposed to be a speaker, all I would do was talk. Y'all have no idea. In college, I aced so many like presentations that I never prepared for. I had presentations that I would just study for the night before and I would write some bullet points and I would go up in front of the class and I would talk about it. And if I talked about anything, okay, the class would be enamored. The teacher, okay, A plus, all right. And people be like, oh my gosh, Brittainy, you're so passionate. You're this and that. And they literally would think that I'm passionate about the thing that I'm doing. And I'm like, I just came up with this last night, right? Because my gift is going to do the thing that it does no matter what, right? I could be talking about ABCs and my gift will move somebody. Before I knew it was, right? When you're looking for your purpose, pay attention to the thing that you do that has influence in the world. What is the thing that you do that people come seeking you out for? What is the thing that you do that people constantly ask you for help with, or they come and ask you your opinion for? They're not coming for no reason, right? They're coming because they see that gift operating. And you may not understand that it's a gift because it comes so easy, right? It comes so easy, so natural for you. But the rest of the world understands that's not natural. That's actually very hard, right? So start paying attention to what people are seeking you out for. Pay attention to what people are coming to you asking you for consultation for. And when it happens, allow yourself to acknowledge that thing as being significant in your life, right? Because what people do, because you're downplaying the gift, when people do come and give you acknowledgement and they give you credit and they ask you for feedback, you just chop it up to, oh, it's just, it ain't nothing. They just need help. And you minimize everything. Okay, you minimize everything. I did that for years. For years, people would ask me to come and speak and do this, and I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it, right? And I have a whole story about how, my purpose was confirmed, and, it was a hot mess. But when you finally accept what it is, that's when you can now become strategic about how I'm going to use this gift in the way in which it was intended, and allow my gift to make room for me, right? In whatever rooms that, because you never really know what rooms your gift will take you in. You may think you know, but once you really start operating in it, it goes, you have no idea where it's going to go because it ain't yours. You have no idea where it's going to go because it ain't yours. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Good question. Okay. YouTube says, I'm having a hard time letting go of a relationship. I don't know if I'm fully ready. How can I tell when I'm ready? You're ready because you asked me that question. Ready and willing are two different things. Am I ready to start going to the gym? Sure. I got my gym shoes. I got my workout outfits. I got my workout plan. I know what, got my gym membership. I'm ready. But am I willing? Willingness requires action. There is a difference between being ready for something and being willing to do something. I can be ready to leave, but I am unwilling to actually pack my stuff and leave the house. I'm unwilling to have the hard conversation. I'm unwilling to feel the emotional pain behind leaving. I'm unwilling to take the action that will do the thing that I'm ready to do. You're ready because you asked a total stranger on YouTube, right? Or I may not be a stranger to you, but still, you're ready, but I'm not willing, right? And it's not a bad thing. Like, TDF knows there's not much that I label good or bad. Most things or most decisions you make in your life, it's not that the decision is good or bad. Seek to understand the decision, right? If you guys have not read my first book, see, I can't make announcements. I just can't make announcements. Okay. In my first book, I talked about a relationship that I was in for 6 years that was unhealthy. It could have been ended in the first 30 days. All right. But I stayed for 6 years. And I remember there was a time where I was like, I was fully self-aware. I was like, Brittany, this is going nowhere, right? You know that this is not the person for you. You know that this person is going to keep hurting you, right? And I knew I was fully self-aware that this relationship was draining every ounce of good that I had for this world, okay? And I knew it. I knew that the day was going to come where I was going to have to leave, but I was unwilling. Unwilling. Unwilling to actually sit with my emotions behind my heartbreak. Unwilling to accept the fact that I had invested so many years and gotten no return. Unwilling to accept the fact that this person was not going to be the father of my kids. This person and I were not going to get married. We were not going to have the vision that we created together. I was unwilling to release it. And being unwilling it's not always a bad thing, because sometimes the unwillingness is coming because it's a part of the grief that I feel behind the dead relationship. Denial. Right? If we're looking at the stages of grief, it's a part of denial. I'm unwilling to walk away because I'm still in denial that this is done. I'm unwilling to walk away because I'm still in denial that the future that I thought we would have is not happening. So the grief that I feel keeps me in the relationship. Allow yourself to grieve, right? You could stay. And if I know the world the way I know the world, right? I would say know God like I know God. Eventually you do get to your point to where it's like, okay, I'm ready to put action behind it. And if that means that I may have to take more heartbreak or more hurt or more devastation, that may be what that means. Right? When I made my decision to stay, I knew there was more pain coming. But I didn't get out the way of the bus. I got hit again and again and again. Right? How do you leave without hurting their feelings? That's unrealistic. You don't control other people's feelings. You don't control other people's emotions. It's not your job to control other people's feelings or emotions. If I move through this world trying not to hurt people's feelings, I would never have permission to be who I am. Because at some point, who you are will offend somebody. At some point, who you are will upset somebody. At some point, who you are will walk on somebody's nerves, right? There is somebody who's going to cry about me at some point, and that's just what it is. I don't control people's emotions. The same way I have pain around leaving a relationship, they have their own pain around leaving a relationship, and I'm not Superwoman. I can't save you from it. So I'm going to allow them to take ownership of their pain and their process so that they can move on. But do not, because that question, while it sounds well intentioned, while it sounds like I'm just someone with a big heart and I don't want to hurt people. No, you're using them as an excuse to not deal with your own stuff. This happens a lot with moms. But I just don't want to disappoint the kids. And I just don't want them to grow up in a single parent home. And I just don't want them to have to go to therapy. And so, because you're not willing to do your part of this process, you're not willing to deal with your pain, you're not willing to take responsibility, you're not willing to hold yourself accountable. And so, you know what you do? You say, well, I don't want to do it because of them. And you make somebody else the blame as to why you're not taking action. When I say stuff like this, I'd be like, why do these people listen to you? Because that hurts my own feelings, okay? That hurts my own feelings, right? But just know if this is y'all's first time joining me, most of the times when I'm talking about stuff like this, it's because yes, I'm a licensed therapist. If y'all don't know, I am a licensed therapist. But I have lived through a lot of this, right? So when I can call people out on using other people as excuses to not change their life, it's because at one point I was using other people. Oh, well, it's them. And I don't want to let them down. And I don't want to disappoint them. And I don't want to hurt them. And I was saying, I'm just a big hearted person. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just found a savvy way to not take responsibility. That's what it was. You just found a cute way to say, I'm not ready to change my life. That's what you did. So the level of honesty that I give you guys is because I have had to have that level of honesty with myself. And it hurts. It's not fun. Okay. It'll have you in bed for a few days sometimes. But without honesty, you will not see change. Right? Truth, as cliche as it sounds, the truth really does set us free. And sometimes if I'm not in a place where I can tell myself the truth, hearing the truth from somebody else, sometimes that's what I need, right? Just know it all comes from a place of love, all right? Not Miss Marie. Oh, Marie, if that ain't true, she said, Jesus cut you first, and now I have the sword. If that ain't the truth, I done got cut up. I done got cut up to be me, okay? All right. I always laugh when people say, I want to be as have as much wisdom as you. I want to be able to talk the way you talk. I'm like, girl, you know what I went through for this? Do you know what I went through to have this? Okay. So I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. All right. Let me know in the chat if this was helpful for you guys. Like I said, I have a lot of announcements, but I just finalized everything today, so I can't speak on it at least until probably the end of the month. So if you guys are wanting to know when the next Sunday session is, stay tuned. If you're wanting to know how you can work with me, stay tuned. However, the Daily Fix is available right now. You understand me? The Daily Fix is available right now. And if you're trying to figure out your whole dating life, join the Daily Fix tonight, because tomorrow we're talking about how to navigate dating in a healthy way. Tomorrow morning. I think that's it. YouTube, Devin, good to see you. Janetta, good to see you. K. Cole, good to see you guys. I'll be back live next week. All right. In the meantime, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week and weekend. And I'll see y'all. Daily Fix, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Okay. And then for the next live session, we'll be live again next week. All right. Y'all have a wonderful night. Talk to y'all later. If I can